Hey everyone, welcome back to Arguing Semantics. Today I'm coming to you with another live quick review today of Thor Love and Thunder. So to get it out of the way, it was just okay, unfortunately. I did kind of have high hopes for this one going in, mostly because of where they left Thor off in the last one, which I think is more, or I should say where they left Thor off after Infinity War and Endgame. And unfortunately, they just kind of rushed past all that. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything that happens in this story. But overall, I enjoyed it. I did think it was fun. The action sequences were cool. It just wasn't as much as it could have been, especially with all the different storylines that they were exploring in this one. Going through Thor, figuring out his new place in the universe, and Jane dealing with her new abilities and having to go through a cancer scare, or just straight up cancer. And also, Gore the God Butcher is probably one of the most interesting villains that we've gotten in a while. The only problem is they didn't do anything with him. He's just kind of there to be cool and in a couple of scenes, and if it weren't for the fact that Christian Bale played him so well, he would have been basically a non-entity. But yeah, overall, the storyline and how it played out just was kind of, it had so many great ideas that just weren't explored at all. Bringing in all the other gods and how they behave and act in the universe was a cool idea that they really didn't do anything with. It was just kind of there to be a fetch quest for the lightning bolt. Gore had a great introduction and then completely squandered by having him not do a whole lot in the actual story. Same thing with Jane. They only gave her like the minimum of what they needed for her story to play out. And Thor himself, Thor and Valkyrie, didn't really get a whole lot either. They brought in all these characters and all these events, but nothing that really added anything to the story. It was very scattershot how this story played out, which, while it was visually interesting, it honestly has some of the prettiest moments in any of the MCU movies so far. The entire sequence in the Shadow Realm was really cool, but it was all tonally inconsistent. It was definitely better as far as the toning down the jokes, not to take away from the dramatic moments as the previous film was, but still, and definitely improved on many of the elements of the previous movie, but still failed in one of the biggest one, which is, why give the villain a storyline if you're not going to bother telling that story properly? Now, on top of that, like I said, overall, I felt like technically, and then with the stylistic aspects of it, while it did have some really cool moments, they felt very inconsistent from moment to moment. The movie just didn't feel cohesive. It felt like a bunch of stuff just kind of mashed together and see what would work, which brings me to my big complaint right now with the Marvel Universe. It doesn't feel like they know what they're doing. For a series that really tied all their movies together in a really good way, where each movie was interesting and good on its own in some way, shape, or form, as well as tying into the overall themes and storyline moving forward. This movie just does, these last few movies just haven't done that. None of them have been particularly interesting on their own, and they all just feel like they're setting something up, but we have no idea what that thing is or why we should care. And the fact that we now have to watch, to keep up to date, it feels like I'm watching, a new Marvel thing every couple of weeks. I'm definitely starting to set in with the fatigue. Unless they can bring something to the table soon, I might be getting off this train. But yeah, overall, is it worth a watch? Sure. Do you need to go to theaters for it? You could probably just wait for the Disney Plus with this one, which is what I can say about a lot of the Marvel stuff right now, which is not a good sign. So anyway, that being said, thanks for watching. My name is James, and you have been watching Arguing Semantics.